Ladies and gentlemen, let me take you for a quick trip to my wrestling library, my wrestling office, and I'm going to talk about some part of it, some memories of that library. So, of course, in my old place, my wrestling stuff like magazines, DVDs, tapes, belts, they were all over the place. So I told my wife the first thing I'm going to do when moving to our new home, I'm going to make my wrestling dream place. And of course, that was the first thing I did in our new house. And my wife is still pissed about I just gave everything to do this place and left the rest for her. So in this section I have some of my favorite promotions in wrestling through history. It's the New Japan Pro Wrestling logo. It's the WWF logo that represents my favorite time, my favorite wrestling period, like I'd say from 1987 to 1994. Here we have WCW Nitro, which is actually my favorite wrestling TV program of all time, and the CMLL Lucha Libre, the Mexican promotion. I wanted actually the guy who made me those logos, I asked him to do the world of sport, like I had some sort of cool magazine advertising for the world of sport, and for some reason he didn't do it. Here I have some of my favorite wrestling posters. The SummerSlam 1997 poster, which is for me is the best wrestling poster of all time, where it had Bret Hart going for the WWF title against The Undertaker, and this is WrestleMania 7, Hogan versus the Ultimate Warrior. Man, that was, I think to this day, this is the best WrestleMania main event of all time. The build up where in the Royal Rumble, where the two clashes, just it was huge, and I was heartbroken when Hogan finally lost the belt to the Ultimate Warrior. You need to have Andre versus Hogan. Seeing all those posters with hooks, WrestleMania poster, I think we forget he's the real WrestleMania. WrestleMania 8 poster. I always love that Randy Savage versus Ric Flair match. I consider it to be the best WWF match in WrestleMania history, although this year Kofi and Daniel Bryan is pretty close. This is my first documentary film about New York. So here what I have is my Wall of Fame, where I have some special photos from my wrestling trips worldwide. Here it's the me with Cody and Goldust. This is a funny story, I think. So it was a WrestleMania 30, and it was a WrestleMania 30 Access, and it was me and my wife. Actually, my wife, she was a big Goldust fan, so we bought the Goldust shirt I'm wearing from that WrestleMania Access, and we didn't know actually. After buying it, there was Cody and Goldust like having an autograph session, so we went to wear the shirt and went to them. This is I always the first wrestling memory I ever remember, it was Hulk Hogan versus Big Boss Man in a steel cage match in Saturday Night Main Event. But this picture, I think I was a huge Hulk Hogan fan. It had like September 1987 date, so I think this when I started watching wrestling. This is TJ and myself and my daughter Dana. This is in Manchester. We had a very nice dinner in my sister's apartment. We watched some wrestling with TJ. A funny story. So I asked TJ, you choose a year to play a match. So he said 1995. And so I played Razor versus Owen Hart from January. So of course TJ is one of the smartest minds in wrestling, and while watching he tried to be smart by calling each spot beforehand of Owen. And the Owen and the Razor match is pretty the same, but for some reason it's like Owen knew, like after 20 years or so, TJ is going to be smart and calling his match, and Owen just started to have these just different spots just to mess around. I think TJ, he predicted Owen he's going to be the baseball slide, and Owen went to do a suicide dive, and they had a totally different match. That was funny. This is me pinning my father. WrestleMania 28. My first WrestleMania. This is me and Jericho. It has a fun story. For some reason, me and Chris were wearing the exact same glasses, and when I told that to Chris, he was pissed off, like for nobody was wearing a glass like him. WrestleMania 31, to this day my favorite WrestleMania live. This is me presenting Daniel Bryan with my own book. This is an interview. I remember buying the $1 million belt, and Dolph, just out of the blue, he came to interview me, and I told him I am in my honeymoon and I got this belt, and he said, my wife, are you sure this guy is not keeping you hostage? We have Hulk. I've been to so many autograph sessions, and by far Hogan had the longest line. I think we waited for over 2 hours, and Hogan was so awesome. Just taking his time and standing to greet each wrestler and giving him his own time. As with Liger, WrestleMania 30. Bob Backlund, a very fun story. So he was signing, I think, he was signing an autograph for a fan. So I was standing next to him while he's signing, And me and my wife, I said to my wife, let's go to say hi to Bob. And for some reason, I'm not sure, so Bob was like signing his autograph to this fan, and I thought he wasn't paying attention to my conversation. So my wife, she asked me, who's this guy? And I told him, you don't know him? This is Bob Backlund. He held the WWF title for 5 years and 6 months, something like that. So he drops his pen, look at me on a straight face and said 5 years and 10 months, and he goes back to sign the autograph. Bobby Eaton. It's the Bret Hart. I always make sure. Actually, this is a fun photo. I think I met Bret and his wife in the hotel, and I was wearing the Who Are You to Doubt El Dandy shirt. So Bret's wife, she said, I need to take a photo of this shirt. Piper, God bless his soul. Yeah. 7-star photo. Angle. Mean Gene, rest in peace. Rey Mysterio, he's one of my favorite wrestlers, and he was so cool to meet. This is the Muscle Cat from WWE NXT UK. A fun story. I wrote about it in my book. So this is him before joining the WWE, and there was a show called Rise. It was in a tattoo festival, and on the same day, my favorite wrestler of all time had another show, which is Jushin Thunder Liger. And I had a call to make, either to attend to see a live match of Liger or go to see my friend for the first time, and I chose to see Ross. I'm not sure about my decision to this day. It's in Japan. My wife always makes the best cakes in wrestling. This is one of her amazing cake. Randy Savage. This is in Tokyo with Kaz and Chica. Greetings to them. Terry, one of the nicest men ever. Hall of Fame. This is one of my favorite photo of my daughter. Pretty cool collection. I'm just trying. It's my trip to Arena, Mexico. I always say the show I attended for Arena, Mexico, I have attended so many amazing wrestling shows, and by far Arena, Mexico was the most fun. The Tokyo Dome, I'm going next year. So much wrestling trips. Another amazing cake by my beautiful wife. Just trying to figure if there is any. I have so much story. So let's move to this is the pay-per-view section, WrestleMania. To this day, I am still like collect my wrestling events on DVD or Blu-ray. I just love to have them on physical form. I wish one day, like for some reason, the WWE Network would stop and I'm the only guy with all this library. Savage and Liz. This is the Survivor Series section. Yoko. The Royal Rumble section, all the pay-per-views, all the Summer Slams. The Warlord. This is just a random section where the Wild Samoan figure It has some of the magazine I got from Japan. My first book, Heart to Heart. My second book, my Worldwide Wrestling Adventure. It's my Blu-ray, Tiger Mask and Dynamite. This is the WWF TV section with some figure, all the Raws and SmackDown. WWF Superstars, some figures, NXT section, WWF Action Zone, WWF Super Astros, where actually Negro Casas and El Hijo del Santo had a great, or not a great, but a nice run in WWE. This is the Legend section with some DVDs. Terry Funk, I have a 30 DVD of him or so. This is the one of my favorite section, which has some of the really gold classic, the Luthers, the Gorgon George area, the Harley Rays. More WWF pay-per-views with some cool, the Destroyer, one of my favorite masked superstars of all time. Liger, El Hijo del Santo. Now we are moving to the America Territories section. The World Class Championship territory, some Florida, NWA, Houston, Mid-Atlantic, Memphis if you can see it, St. Louis. Wrestling was so great. The WCW section, Saturday nights, War Games, all the pay-per-views, Saturday nights, even some house shows. The Old Japan Pro Wrestling section with some Noah, and this is a really cool combination of a book and DVD of Giant Baba, Jumbo DVDs, The Destroyers, some Old Japan TV. Here we have the New Japan section, all the G1 Climax, all the Wrestle Kingdoms, Dominions, some random shows. This is one of my favorite portraits I got from a great artist representing how great the managers can be wrestling and how fun it is. The New Japan section, so much Liger's dedicated DVDs, Tiger Masks, the Junior Division section, the best of the Super Junior, sorry. The Indie section, the ECWs, what we have right here, Ring of Honor, Pro Wrestling Gorilla, TNA, Best of AJ Styles, Bryan Danielson, Best of Cesaro, Samoa Joe, CM Punk, all in DVDs, MLW, the Lucha section, of course, all the CMLL pay-per-views and anniversaries, mask versus mask matches, mask versus hair matches, Best of El Santo DVDs, LA Park, Negro Casas. Here, the section of the international territories, some Stampede, Quebec, World of Sport, Puerto Rico, Australia. Just so much fun stuff. Sorry. Here some of my favorite belts. I kinda wish I had the black strap over this one, but still cool design. My favorite wrestling belt of all time, the NWA. The most popular belt of all time, I guess. Arak flare belt, the most beautiful belt, man. The $1 million belt. I hope you like it.